Hello, Abigail here with the tarot energy reading for this week. And this week we start off with the Nine of Wands. This is not a shock. We're still in the squares that Sagittarius is bringing us with the nodes, with Neptune and Saturn and all the planets that are transiting through Sagittarius at this time. We are in the last gasp of 2025 and we are being hauled up short by the energy in order to process, to understand, to recognize where we are and what has happened. And I do think a lot of this energy, it's not to force us to slow down and to frustrate us, even though it can feel that way. It is to get us to slow down so that we get clear on what we want going forward. And I really do believe this, partially because we have the King of Pentacles, really knowing what we want, rooting down in our desires, rooting down in what our plans are for the future, because the astrology of the end of this year is a little stop and start, forced downtime. Also, we are going into the winter solstice this weekend. This is the darkest time of the year. This is when, and especially in the Northern Hemisphere, of course, we shut down and slow down. And so now is the time to take stock of the year that you've had, to recognize what you want and desire, and not to see this as necessarily something getting in your way, but Eight of Pentacles, something you're being called to take a moment to focus on and to sit with and to plan for. We have something in the dark months of the year to craft and to connect to find sovereignty in with our King of Pentacles. And yeah, Nine of Wand moments are no joke, and they're not easy. But in this context, in Sagittarius, excuse me, we are being asked to take our fire and our passion and our desire and build something that is worth working for. And that requires us to take this moment to slow down and to get honest with what we want and what we need. That new moon in Sagittarius is especially going to be inviting us to do that on Saturday. But we also have the Four of Cups. You know, disassociation is not helpful as a lifestyle, but it is helpful as a coping mechanism. In this week, if you need to, step aside. Do something that ignites your fantasy and your desire, but also, when you can engage, Three of Wands, do engage and get honest about what you want and what you need. I will see you all later.